Hey, y'all, it's Meg Summers. One of the biggest stories in West Alabama right now is the massive sewage leak that happened over the weekend in Northport. Hundreds of thousands of gallons of raw sewage was pumped into the Black Warrior River following a sewer pump malfunction. So I found out about just how bad this spill was by reading a statement published yesterday on Facebook from Black Warrior Riverkeeper. They're a local environmental advocacy group, and they're dedicated to keeping our river clean. I've got Nelson Brooke of Black Warrior Riverkeeper on the phone with me right now. So Nelson, can you tell us more about what happened with this sewage spill?
Absolutely. Appreciate your interest in the story. We learned of this late Saturday night, early Sunday morning over the 4th of July holiday weekend. Apparently, the city of Northport discovered issues with their main sewer wastewater line. It's called a force main on 5th Street, and determined that they had a break and they needed to shut down multiple lift stations throughout the system, which pump wastewater through this big pipe, 20-inch pipe, to their wastewater treatment plant, and that caused overflows of raw sewage into area creeks that feed out into the Black Warrior, and that occurred from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. according to the city of Northport. Unfortunately, there was very little public notice put out about where exactly these spills took place. We don't know how much actually spilled even today after the holiday is over with. Apparently, the city is still working on trying to calculate how much was spilled and exactly where. But we put together a map of where we think the spills took place and encourage the public over the holiday to stay out of the river in the immediate area around Northport and Tuscaloosa and on downstream, given that without real information on exactly how much was spilled, what the severity of the situation was, people needed to be exercising caution over the holidays. Unfortunately, though, a lot of people just didn't have any idea that this was going on because adequate notice was not given at boat launches and public access points down the river.
Yeah, I mean, I only found out about this story really by, like I said, reading the post that you guys had made on Facebook yesterday, and that's when I learned the extent of this raw sewage spill. I saw the map that you guys have put together. We have a link up for our listeners at b1017online.com. What kind of locations are we thinking have been affected by the raw sewage spill?
Well, there was a lift station near the Lurleen-Wallace Bridge that was overflowing. There was one near downtown Northport at the Kentuck Park, and then there was one out towards Airport Road. We're still trying to figure out exactly where that lift station is and exactly what areas were affected, but we believe that Tater Hill Creek may be the creek affected by that lift station, and that was not a part of the public notice that was put out. But like I said, we're not 100% sure yet because we have not gotten a final answer from the city of Northport. And then there was also a lift station failure way up above McFarland Boulevard, and that affected Mill Creek, which flows into the river downstream of the Oliver Dam.
So one question that I have for you is, when we're talking about this raw sewage that's been spilled into the river and the creek, what kind of environmental impact can happen from this? And should people be taking any special precautions, fishing, boating, things like that?
Well, certainly direct water contact is to be of concern. The notice from the city of Northport listed Harper Creek, Mill Creek, Upper Smith Creek, and the Black Warrior River. And like I mentioned, we think there's a possibility that Tater Hill Creek may have been affected. Since those creeks were the direct location of where the overflows occurred from these lift stations, that's where the greatest concentration of harmful matter could have stayed or settled out. And so it's certainly not a good idea for people or their pets to be recreating on these local creeks or near where they enter the river. And that's right near the Lurleen-Wallace Bridge to all the way down below the toll bridge where Tater Hill Creek enters the river. Bacteria, pathogens, and all sorts of nutrients can be present in raw sewage It's not been treated yet by the wastewater treatment plant. It's going through a pipe on the way to the plant when it spills. So it's very nasty. And unfortunately, short term, that's bad for wildlife and fish and people and pets. But long term, bacteria and pathogens can settle out and stay alive in stream bottom sediments for months, even up to a year or more. So it's certainly something to be concerned about until we learn more about what the City of Northport, the Department of Environmental Management, our state agency, and the local Tuscaloosa County Health Department are doing to address the situation, to disinfect where the spills took place, see what kind of cleanup they may be planning on, and if they're going to do any testing.
Hey, so, Nelson, I really want to commend you and the work that Black Warrior Riverkeeper is doing to get the word out about this spill, to make sure that we're informed, because like I said, I didn't know. And you guys are also working to ensure the health of the Black Warrior River. You guys are really doing some incredible work. What can people do to support Black Warrior Riverkeeper and your mission?
Well, specifically with regard to the spill, and thank you for that, if people were out on the river over the holidays, particularly downstream of Tuscaloosa and the Coker, Fosters, Moundville area, we want to hear from you. We want to know if you saw or smelled anything. If anybody gets sick, we want to know about that. I mean, this is of concern, especially for people with comprised immune systems, if they had scratches, abrasions, or cuts, or if any water was ingested. If people have pictures of people swimming and recreating in the river downstream, we'd love to know. I'd love to see those pictures. We'd love to know where people were accessing the river. If anybody has an estimate of how many people they think were out on the river, this would all be really helpful to us. We're a small nonprofit organization. I'm the full-time riverkeeper, and I can only keep an eye on the river so well as one person, so we really depend on citizens who use the river to help us keep an eye out and give us calls when they see problems. So we take pollution complaints from the public, and we'd love to hear from people and see your pictures. And we're a nonprofit, non-governmental membership organization, so if folks want to join our organization and help us keep doing the work that we're doing to protect the river and everybody's use of clean water, then we are more than happy to hear from people.
What's the best way for people, if they've got any of these photos or information about what happened over the weekend, or learn more about what you guys are doing for the Black Warrior River? How can they connect with you? What's your website? Where can they call?
Our phone number is 205-458-0095. People can report pollution there and ask questions there. Also, questions and volunteer interest can be addressed to info@blackwarriorriver.org. And if people want to report pollution, they can call or they can email us at reportpollution@blackwarriorriver.org, or also visit our website and report pollution via the website. And we're physically located at 712 37th Street South in Birmingham, zip code 35222.
All right, Nelson, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day to talk with us about what's going on in the Black Warrior River.
Hey, thanks for your time.
For more information about this massive sewage spill, head over to b1017online.com. We've got the full story, the latest info from Black Warrior Riverkeeper, as well as a link to their interactive map that shows you, what locations were impacted by this spill. It's up at b1017online.com, so check it out.